Hey,
And there we go. So, what's up, John Thomas? It's good to see you hopped in.
immediately.
Yeah, I know I've always talked about doing these live streams, but it's cool to see that you actually showed up for this one too.
hmm
Does it even say how many people are hopping in or no?
It'll tell you. It won't tell me. At your top left corner, somewhere in that area, it'll tell
Oh,
you.
gotcha. Yeah, give it a minute or two, see if anyone hops in and we can get it started.
Yeah, man. Let's get cracking.
Oh, we got a few people actually.
Well, there you go. Let's go.
All right, let's get it started. So, So everybody that's already in here, this I know I've been talking about it for a while now, but I started, I was talking about trying to do a live stream. This is going to be a weekly occurring thing. Every Friday, I'm going to be doing a new episode. It's going to be called Comic Convos. So this is episode 1, and we've got Comix4Cheap here. He's fresh on YouTube, so go give him a follow. The ticker's at the bottom if you want to hit him in the description. It's got his Instagram linked as well. He's also very known in the Instagram comic book community. I don't know if you do Facebook, but he's always doing auctions, claim sales, and he's pretty much the guy that I've talked to that's taught me everything for cleaning and pressing so far. I've learned a lot about comics in general from him, so it's awesome to sit down with you and be able to do this.
Yeah, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me on your first episode. I'm kind of geeking out because you're one of my favorite YouTube channels, and you are the person that really helped me and pushed me into the YouTube scene. So I really appreciate you having me here on your first live stream.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. I mean,
Yeah.
I learned a lot from you. We can learn a lot from each other.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see that you're actually doing YouTube as well. I know you were talking about it for a while. And
Yes.
you hit the ground running, man. Like you started doing videos probably, I think it was like every day you were dropping at least something new. And right off the bat, it's almost 400 subs in less than a month, maybe a month?
A month, and I'm at 400 subs. I'm on the race to 1,000, and I'm definitely this last week I've been taking it a little bit easy. I've been editing some bigger videos and focusing on some sales on Instagram, but I have been trying to get something out pretty much every other day, if not every day. I do 2 live streams myself every week, on Monday and on Friday. So actually after this I'll be going live. On Monday, I have my buddy Chris on, and we just do like a little podcast about comics, pop culture, mostly comic books and movies. And then on Friday, Justin and I break down the latest WandaVision episode, and then from there, we'll go on to whatever the next movie or episode is.
Nice. That's awesome. I mean, I've hopped in on the Wednesday podcast, but I got to tell you, I can't hop in on the Friday one. So if you guys have seen WandaVision, make sure you go check him out right after this. Him and one of our other friends, they're going to be talking about the latest episode. They do a breakdown and it's all that good stuff. Me, I always wait to watch the episode, so I can't hop in on that live stream, but I can always catch it right after.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely. We have spoiler alert like in the title and in the description, so we don't want anyone in there that hasn't watched the episode, or unless they want it spoiled and broken down for them.
Yeah, I'm not doing that just yet. But what do you think about the show so far? Without giving crazy spoilers away.
Yeah, no spoilers or anything like that. I'm really enjoying what is going on with WandaVision. Marvel is back in this new phase. It's been a slow burn, obviously, and I think it's picking up steam now. I'm glad that people stuck with it, because I know there was a lot of backlash with the first 2 episodes. For me, I was a little bored by the first one until like right near the end. And then after that, I was like, I'm hooked, like hook, line, and sinker. I'm just in.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like those first few episodes, they were really cool, but obviously they had that weird, different Marvel thing going on. Like it wasn't exactly what I expected, at least. But these last few where they kind of hopped right into it. Oh my God, that was crazy.
Oh yeah, no, it's been a blast of a show. Like I find myself looking forward to it a lot, which I did with Mandalorian too. I really found myself like looking forward to Friday because I get to watch the next episode of Mandalorian, and now it's WandaVision. So Disney is definitely is killing it with the content right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Mandalorian yet. I talk about it in some of my videos. I'm trying to get my girlfriend all caught up on Star Wars. She hasn't seen any of them, so I haven't seen Mandalorian yet. I wanted to wait to buy Disney Plus until they start dropping the Marvel stuff, because I wasn't always huge into Star Wars. I'm still not the biggest Star Wars fan, but
me neither. Yeah,
it's definitely cool.
Yeah, so I've never been a huge Star Wars person at all. I've really, really loved the Darth Vader comics. Like that has been
Oh yeah.
100% like my favorite thing about Star Wars until The Mandalorian. So the movies, like I get it, like, but it's never been something that I'm like, oh, I really, I love the movies. I love the toys. I love, it's just been like, okay, it's cool. I really liked Rogue One. That was probably my favorite movie of all the movies.
I've heard that one's real good.
Yeah, and then getting into The Mandalorian, Justin was the one who was like, "You need to get into it. You need to get into it." I'm like, "Okay, I'll watch it." I didn't watch it at first. Blew through the first season, and I was like, "This is the most amazing Star Wars content that I've ever seen." And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna spoil anything there either. It's just I was just like blown away. And then going into season 2, I was like, "All right, this is incredible."
Dude, you're making me jealous because I haven't seen any of that. I haven't seen Rogue One. I haven't seen Solo, Mandalorian.
Oh man,
I know.
I haven't seen Solo either.
So my thing is I saw, what was it, the newest one, 7, 8, 9? Are those the three new ones? So I saw 7 and 8. I thought 7 was all right. I thought 8 was pretty bad, and I heard 9 was absolutely horrible. So I was like, screw it.
Well, okay, so Star Wars fans are also one of the most toxic fan bases of all times.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like I'm biased because I never was a huge Star Wars fan to begin with, so I can't make an accurate, review of 7, 8, and 9. For me, my fiance's dad really likes Star Wars, right? So I remember when 7 came out and it was on like Christmas or whatever, and we all went to see it, and I took a nap. Like I just fell straight asleep because he was so excited to go see it. And I didn't want to let him down being like, I don't really like Star Wars like that. So I was like, I'll come along, whatever. And yeah, I just went right to sleep.
I know that feeling. I feel like I fall asleep in like every single movie I put on. If the lights are off and there's a movie and I'm on a sofa, game over. I even fall asleep.
Game over. You're like an old man.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
My favorite fall asleep movie, and this is gonna make people mad, but The Godfather. I have not made it through that movie a complete time, not once.
I mean, if you think that's gonna get people mad, I mean, I haven't seen it, so.
Oh well, there you go. It's like my dad's favorite all-time movie. I remember telling him that one time. I was like, he was asking me about The Godfather. I was like, oh yeah, the 3 times I tried to watch it, I fell asleep. He's like, I'm not talking to you anymore. And the rest of the day, he's like, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Dude, long movies, that'll do it to me. I just, I mean, back in the day, early 2000s, late 90s, a movie that was literally like an hour and 20 minutes, good to go. That's what I needed in my life. I can watch that. 2.5, 3-hour movie. This shit's ridiculous. You need to like set the whole day aside for that.
That's like my favorite long movie has to be Wolf of Wall Street, but that movie is long.
That is incredible.
Yeah, no, that movie takes forever, and Alexis can't stand it, so I have to watch it when she's not around. Hey, Doyle.
Yeah. Thank you, Doyle, for that one. I appreciate the support to the channel.
Someone says AR Comics is the best stream of learning more on hot books. I agree. I put your stuff on, even though I'm not a big into the modern stuff. I'll put your stuff on just to see what's going on.
Thank you, Keith. I appreciate that one. This is I'm almost positive. I would have to double check when I get off this, but he has the comic shop that I go to back home in Pennsylvania. It's called The Encounter.
Okay.
Oh, and it's an incredible place. They've literally got everything that you possibly can need. So if you're ever in Pennsylvania, Bethlehem area specific, make sure you go check them out. Great group of dudes. And if they don't have it, they can definitely order that for you too.
There you go. Yeah, I'll put your thing on every time you have like what's coming out for the next week, and also when you have your haul for what you just picked up from the shop. Like I said, I'm like super following the modern stuff. I'll read it online or on my tablet, what's going down. But hey, what's up, Gem Mint?
What's going on, bro? Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that.
But I do like to see what's going down, and you break this stuff down like amazingly.
Oh, I appreciate it. I mean, a lot of these modern comics. I don't even know. I was going to ask you, do you even read modern comics? Because I know you're huge into Silver Age, Bronze Age, stuff like that. But
some I do if I'm trying to read like I'm doing some book clubs that I'm starting up here on YouTube soon. So I'll read a little bit of modern for that. I'll read modern for when Chris wants me to check out a certain storyline and stuff like that. But I'm like, especially issue by issue, I don't read it. Like I like to sit down with a trade, and I'll just sit there and read the entire trade front to back. But yeah, I'm just not. It's not in it for me.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you on that. I mean, I love my hardcovers. I got a lot of the Image hardcovers. I got some omnibus too, but for the most part, I stick to the Image ones, or whoever else has a nice hardcover. But I make these weekly videos, and I swear, like I usually get a top 10. I usually only get 10 books a week, and for the most part, for the most part, I don't think they're really that good. I think some of them are great. The artwork is incredible in a lot of these new ones, but so many of these issues they feel rushed. They don't feel like they really make sometimes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed. I'll tell you, the last time that I like sat down and just kept reading the modern stuff. So Immortal Hulk, right from the get go, I was a big advocate for that one when it was coming out, and I was like, "This is incredible. This is the best Hulk thing that they've done since World War Hulk, like period." And people started catching up on that one around 10, and then it started getting weird around like 20. In that area, like 20 to 25, and I was like, all right, I'm done with this. Venom was another one that I really loved up through a certain point, and at that point I was just like, all right, now it's becoming a cash grab. Like it is what it is.
That's how I felt with the Venom Beyond. I didn't like that arc at all. I didn't think it was very good, and I'm kind of in agreement with you on the Immortal Hulk, because I was telling everybody you need to read Immortal Hulk. It's so good, but like you said, around issue 20 things got a little bit weird. And it's been super slow since then. I don't know what Al Ewing's doing on this, because it's ending at issue 50. I think they're on 43 or 44 right now.
Yeah, and with the because of the recall. That's the only reason I know it's like at 43.
Oh, wait, what was the recall?
There was a recall on one of the latest issues, if not the latest issue, for anti-Semitism. Although I don't think that it was. Really? I think it was a mistake. Like as far as the artist, like they're in the Diamond District. They're in a jewelry shop, and like on the
that's the
window
issue.
On the window where you're like looking through, the letters are backwards, and instead of saying the word jeweler, it says Jewer. So they missed a letter, and I don't know. So they recalled it, which nowadays recalling is not like it used to be, where everything actually disappeared when it was recalled, like that Elektra 3 where she was naked for the second half of the book, and they recalled it and then like hastily drew black lines all over her as shadows. But now, like a recall, like with Dead Rabbit was the last time I remember a recall, and then now this Immortal Hulk. Shop owners are just like, whatever, I'm still going to get paid. I'm going to get reimbursed by, whoever recalled it, and I still want to sell these books too, because they're going to sell.
I was going to say, that's probably the best part about being a shop owner for a recall. You get these books, you got to pull them off the shelf for the recall, but then it's like, oh, now I can put this out for a lot more money, and I'll still get my books when they come in. Like, what's the other one? Batman Damned #1? That shot up immediately.
Yeah, immediately after it came out, because I remember day one, I was there, and I had a chance to clear it out, and I went there at, like, nighttime, and I bought one. I got my one copy that I got, and I still have it. I never flipped it or anything.
I have a copy too.
And I remember going home that night. I read it. It was all right. You wouldn't even have seen the Batwing if you hadn't been looking for it, But then I was like online, and everyone's talking about it's going for $100. I was like, man, I need to get back to the shop. So I'm back to the shop, and they were all gone at that point. But I was like, dang, I could have gotten like 5 or 6 if I wanted to.
That's pretty cool.
Was that one actually recalled too? Or they just said they weren't going to reprint it?
Now I'm second guessing. I thought it was recalled, but I also didn't buy that when it came out. I didn't have it on my pull list. One of my friends, I guess it was probably a couple months back, I actually made a trade for it, and my dad picked it up when it came out, but I didn't. So I thought it was recalled. I could be wrong. I think they ended up just pulling it off the shelf, now that you mention it.
Okay, I gotcha. Someone said X-Men Gold #1 and Border Town were also recalled. I remember the X-Men Gold #1. Yeah, that one being recalled for sure. And that one didn't last with that high price though at all. You can get those for like $2, $3 or whatever.
Oh, you guys already know I don't know shit about X-Men. Knowledge is not there. I just don't enjoy it. I don't know what it is.
Not an X-Men fan. Cha says AR fans. AR is great. Comix4Cheap fans. James is all right. That's so facts.
Where's that one at?
So I'm such a bum. It's up a little bit from Cha. My dude, I just submitted a whole bunch of books for him recently, and I think he's sending me some more. So he's just being a punk.
So speaking of submitting,
Yes.
I know you send everything to CGC. And we all know CGC makes a lot of mistakes. They've got, people post about it all the time. I'm not saying CBCS is obviously the better option. They don't make mistakes. I'm sure they do. But because CGC is obviously the go-to for a lot of people, they're the ones that get the publicity for the mistakes because they're I don't want to say gold standard, but they're considered the gold standard of sending books in.
100%.
So do you send books into CGC for that reason? Because obviously you're an auctioneer. You flip books a lot.
So that's a good question. So when I set up everything, this was after I bought my first collection, and I was like, my logical next step is I need to start finding a way to submit to CGC. And so I just kind of put some feelers out there, and a lot of people said, well, you need to clean a press first, or find a presser, or learn how to do it. Turok won this recon. Oh, bro, I'm rich. I'm rich as heck.
Yeah, I heard Comix4Cheap has signed copies of it too.
Yeah, I do. So I bought press machines. I taught myself how to clean the press, along with some help from a community member who's passed away about a year and a half ago now, D. And so my thing was, I obviously, if I'm going to submit books specifically to sell, I obviously want, top dollar or close to top dollar that I can get. And so for that, it seemed to be, and still is, although it's starting to even just a little bit, CGC. So I signed up with a CGC account. I didn't get a CBCS account as well because I was really just submitting for myself. Once I started opening the doors for everyone else to submit to when they're sending books to me, I enable them to submit under my account, or if they have their own account, obviously they can do it through whatever. They just send me the paperwork. So I've had people submit to CBCS through me, and I've had people submit to CGC. But yeah, you're exactly like you said. If CGC is going to bring in top dollar, right, then of course they're going to be held to a higher standard by all of us in the community as collectors. Absolutely. As collectors, as buyers, as sellers, we expect the book to be certified correctly and go through a certain level of quality control if we're going to be spending the top dollar for that encased book.
This is a true comment, by the way. He is absolutely the real deal for press books. I wasn't kidding when he taught me this things I know. I just hit him up earlier because I got that Star Wars 1. If you guys saw it in my last video, I said, how the hell do I get this? How do I get these mistakes out? It is screwed up. And that's the go-to. He knows what he's talking about.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
But yeah,
so CGC. So obviously, since more people send to them, obviously more people are going to have stories about things that were wrong with them, right? That makes sense. So we do have to take it with a grain of salt that not every company is going to be perfect because every company is run by humans. I mean, humans aren't perfect.
Everyone makes mistakes.
But with them dealing with a higher amount of volume, they're going to have a higher amount of mistakes unless they get more people in, which I think they were talking about hiring more people or more quality control or whatever it was. I know now they're grading a lot more strictly moving forward from a couple months ago up till recently. They have been grading definitely a little harder, I think. But I just had an issue where I sent something in for a client and it came back so deeply dented I had to repress it 3 times just to get the dent out. Yeah. So, I mean, and then I had the issue where I sent in a blue label and it came back restored with color touch. And I was like, okay. Well,
I saw that video.
Weird. Yeah,
you made a video on that.
I did. Yeah. And I was surprised, shocked. I was like, what in the world? Because I was not expecting that at all. Because you don't expect that when you buy a blue label for it to come back with color touch on it. Yeah. And they basically told me it was my problem. I was like, all righty.
So after getting that back, I mean, did you crack that open? Did you just leave it as is?
No, I'm just going to leave it as is. It's still a good book to have. It's one of the most restored books of all time. Because right around that time, restoration was heavy and it wasn't looked at as a bad thing. And with that black cover, a lot of people were doing the little black marks or whatever, trying to color in the color breaks and everything. So that's why I purposely bought one that was slabbed, but
makes sense, but still got screwed over. So after re-looking at it, do you think it was retouched, or Do you
One of
see what they were
them,
talking about?
one of them, yes, I can definitely see what they were talking about. The one that I bought raw, and I missed it. The other one in the slab, I still stand by that I don't see anything. And I even used my handy dandy ultraviolet light to try to detect the color touch, which will glow, by the way, if you guys didn't know. You can check for color touch with a UV light
I didn't know that.
right next to all your jizz stains on the book. And then it'll pop up. It'll be like a little more fluorescent. So yeah, I don't see what they're talking about, but it's not worth me trying to resend in because it wasn't just color touch. I think it was like color touch plus like trying to or pieces glued back in or something.
Really?
That they said it was like a lot of restoration for the fact that it was a blue label originally. You know what I mean?
What you should do is just you should make a video explaining all of this, showing off what you have, crack that shit open, resend it in, see what happens. Screw that.
Now if I resend it in, right, it's got a signature on it, so it's going to come back as something anyway, or it'll just say Roy Thomas written on cover.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, so that's why I was just like, oh, whatever. I'll move past it.
That's really crappy. That situation. I'm sorry to hear about that one.
Oh, that's all right. It happens.
But so I know you do all these probably every other week. It feels like every 3 weeks you do an auction.
So
maybe 2 a month.
So I'm not as consistent as a lot of people are.
No,
I'm pretty consistent with my claim sales, right?
Yeah,
and not as much with the auctions, and that's just for a couple reasons. One, I don't want to do it that often. I don't want to be forced to go live once or feel like I have to go live once a week or anything like that. Just because then it feels more like a job and less like something that hey, I'm excited to go live. If I'm going live, it's because I have something to bring and I'm excited about it. Like I've got all this good stuff, but I don't do the once a week. I don't do, or some people even go as much as twice a week. It's not for me. Yeah, so I will go live for the big ones. I think it's usually every 2 to 3 weeks now that shows are starting to kind of come back in our area. Justin and I have one planned, obviously not for this weekend, but for next weekend, we're going down to Charleston, South Carolina, and that'll be a fun one. That's a good one. We just had a big one on last Wednesday that was left over from a show, so that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't go consistently. I'll do the claim sales consistently, like little dollar stuff every time I buy collections and stuff. I just need to move a couple long boxes at a time.
So now you talk about collections, because I know I recently talking with you a lot more. You said this is what you want to do full time. This is now what you're moving into.
Yep.
So how do you go about finding collections? Because obviously you need the knowledge. You need to know what you're looking at. And if it's a whole collection, that's a lot to go through. You can't just be sitting on your phone for hours at a time. You need to know what exactly, pretty much what you're buying.
You're looking for.
So what goes through your head when you do this?
Okay, so I haven't bought like a huge collection in a while. Usually I let collections come to me. That's kind of how I like to play it. So I'll have it out there, obviously, that I buy collections, or maybe I'll leave like a little thing at the post office that says I buy comics, and you can take the number. I usually, but for as far as like, I have a lot of connections with dealers and stuff that I've built over the last couple of years. So if they'll buy a collection and they'll call me and be like, "Do you want to pick through it at a certain price per box?" That I would so much rather do that than the pain of buying a collection. But when I do buy a collection, I have a certain price per box that I do for a blind buy. So if they just say, "Hey, I've got like 12 long boxes, you want to come pick them up or whatever," like I got a few questions that I give them first off, like right off the bat. One, is it bagged and boarded? Like that's a big tell of how they treated their comics. If it's not bagged and boarded, first of all, my price just went way down because now I have to buy bags and boards, and a lot of them I'm probably going to end up throwing out because it's garbage and just not treated well. I'm not going to sell torn, coverless, stained books, even for $1. Like it's a waste of time. So my price goes down for that. And then my other thing is, if it is bagged and boarded, okay, what's kind of the era that the books are in? Is it Bronze Age stuff? Is it more modern stuff? Is it 90s crap? What is it? And, we go from there as far as what a price can be. I know I can beat a comic shop. I know I can beat most people that set up like vendor wise at a show. And But I still, obviously they're coming to me, like I said, so I have to make a certain amount too, and they know that. So it kind of gives me an upper hand a bit.
That's cool that you've built those relationships. I'm guessing you've been doing this, I mean, probably for what, years now, I'm guessing,
A couple
right?
years, yeah, about 3 years, hardcore selling. I've been collecting for a while though.
What got you into collecting? Because I don't know how old you are. I'm guessing you're roughly my age, so.
I'm almost 30, so I'll be 30 in May. And what got me into collecting, so I think I've told this story a time or two, but I'll tell it again. I was maybe around 11-ish, 12-ish, and I had a Toys R Us gift card, which, there you go, just dated me back then.
I mean, I'm 28, man.
So, of course, Toys R Us gift cards, that was the thing to have for Christmas or your birthday or whatever.
It definitely was.
Yeah, so I remember going to Toys R Us, and what's up, John?
How you doing there, bro?
I'm going to be on John's channel on Monday. I'm so excited. But so I go to Toys R Us, and I'm like, I don't really want a new toy. I have, all the toys that I play with. I'm thinking to myself, I'm kind of growing out of toys anyway, and the action figures and stuff that I play with. I had at that point N64 / Game Boy Color, but I really didn't want another game because I had the games that I was playing at the time. And so I was walking past like an end cap or a little like cardboard display or whatever they had, and it was just like those 50 packs of variety comics, and on the front was Spider-Man, the Torment black and silver cover.
Nice.
And I was like, that's it. That's what I want. It was like, I think it worked out where it was exactly what my gift card was or something. And I was like, yep, that's it. And my mom tried so hard to convince me otherwise to not get the comics, and I couldn't be done. So I got them. And from there I was hooked. I read that Torment one. Spider-Man was my guy. And from there I was just hooked on comics. And I didn't even know that you could go to a comic shop every week and get new ones or anything like that. I was just buying these little packs that I could when I could find them for cheap. And that was it. That was the extent of my knowledge and collection reading comics when I was a kid, because there was no one to tell me or show me anything otherwise.
Just think if you could just go back and just
right?
all those comics. Shit, even just think about the Miles Morales, all those polybagged issues that no one cared about. Nobody cared about that when it came out. No. They're like, oh, a new Spider-Man? No one's taking over Spider-Man. Yo, joke's on us for thinking that.
Right? Yeah, no, we had no idea. Or even just like the million copies of ASM 300 that were just chilling, sitting around.
Man,
just think what you could have done with that for $1.25 a piece.
Hey, you might still be able to find it for that $1. I mean, I don't know if you saw the haul that I recently got. It had the Werewolf by Nights and all that stuff in it.
Yes. No, that was crazy.
All right, I'm just gonna tell you straight up. I didn't tell anybody how much I paid for any of it, but I paid cover price for all of it.
Cover price for everything.
Cover price for all of it. 20 cents, 25 cents. So I got 1 through 10, number 13. I think it was the second appearance of Moon Knight was at 33.
33, yeah.
And then 35, literally for like 20 cents each.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a great pull, man.
All those other ones, there's so much. I didn't show everything off in that haul, but there's a bunch of Spider-Man ones. Some other big ones. The Sam Alexander, the Marvel Point Now or Marvel Now Point.
Marvel Point 1, yeah.
I got all those for cover. They've got 7 more just sitting there. And
this was at a shop?
Yeah, all the back bins.
Oh, man. What in the heck? I need to go to this shop. I'm going to drive there right after this.
I'm not saying what shop this is. That's my go-to.
I've shipped to you before. I can go to your house and then set up radius.
Put a little tracker on my vehicle. Like, all right, I know where he's going.
Yeah, that's incredible, though. That just goes to show, digging through these bins and everything. Like, what's up, Justin? Justin and I brought our buddy Ian, and he never dug through bins or anything. And we kind of showed him what we do, and when we go to a show or when we go to a shop, and just kind of digging through the bins and everything. And we regret it now because he was digging through the bins and found a Young Avengers 1 for $20. And I was like, oh no! But no, so ever since then he's been telling me I went through the bins and found this. I was like, man, it's you got to check, man. You got to go through everyone.
You might spend a few hours doing it, maybe waste the whole day, but man, look at what you could find.
Exactly. But that's just that's the game right there. Is you gotta put that work in.
And a lot of people aren't willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you know, some people aren't all out there like you or I are. I mean, you're obviously way deeper than I am. I'm new to selling comic books. I mean, I've been doing it here and there, but I've recently started to get a little bit more serious about it. You obviously do it all up. But even, I don't know, just some of these, you wouldn't really know what to look for. You sit there on an app, because a lot of people I know use Key Collector. I'm not, I mean,
Sure.
I use it too. It's got decent knowledge
definitely.
on it, you know? I mean, a lot of people, they talk bad about Key Collector too. Maybe they're influenced certain ways. We don't need to get into that, but you know, it still is very good info, especially for someone new to comic books.
For sure. Absolutely. I think the main thing that people say is that they try to drive prices up or on purpose, which I don't agree with at all. I don't think that they're purposely trying to drive anything up. I think they report on what's selling. I think they'll give information, here and there. And I, like you said, if I'm digging through, if I just bought a collection, I'm sitting there digging through everything and like just kind of, oh, I didn't know this was this, but you know, it's good little tidbits of information for stuff that, because there's no possible way for you to know every detail about every book, that's out there.
So that's pretty much what I do is I'll find a bin. Maybe it's, for the example, all Avengers or something. I'll bring up that series and just go down the line. Is this a key? No key, and go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then sometimes you'll have to know a little bit outside of it, because I've noticed that sometimes that there will be keys that aren't in Key Collector. I'm not saying like major stuff, but like little minor things that's like, hey, Key Collector kind of missed that one, or like didn't really expound upon that one.
Yeah, there's just so much work that goes into that, and I feel like that's just such an underappreciated thing. I mean, people can talk shit on it all they want. They could, like you just said, they might be able to drive prices up. Maybe they're trying to push certain things. Honestly, who cares? Stay out of their business. The amount of it's what it is. It's a business. It's an app that they created. People pay for that, but they're spending so much time on this info that look what you're still using it.
Exactly.
You know, that's
The only reason you're talking about it is because you know what it is.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. And then I met Nick in Chicago. Actually, he's a pretty nice guy. He's a short little dude, but he's
hey, come on, man. I'm 5'8". We're not all 6'5",
man. No, but he was a really nice guy, and it was really nice for him to just kind of take a second, talk to. It was me, Justin, Andrew. I think Gus might have been there too, but we were just kind of chilling and took a quick picture with us and everything. So, but yeah, he was a pretty cool dude. I don't think he's like trying any kind of malicious intent with making his app. He's just reporting on comic book news as it comes in and what books are associated with it, and that's it.
I agree. I mean, everyone can have this. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I love the theories that people come up with. I love hearing this stuff, that they're doing this and this leads to this, and I don't know. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of people on Instagram that talk about it. I'm sure if you guys that are in the chat right now, you just hop on Instagram and you'll see someone talking about it. But talking about with collections and all that, what books are you specifically speccing on right now? Not to give away your secrets, but
let's give them away. Let's give away my secret. Actually, I think I still have my list. Maybe? No, I don't still have my list. I just made a video recently, but okay. So books that I am currently speculating on: Herogasm 1 was
that's a good one.
Top of my list, and I picked up 2 last weekend, so I was happy to secure some.
You know, that book's already fairly pricey.
It is, and there's a 1 in 15 version that's also fairly pricey.
That's confirmed for a Boys season 3 episode, isn't it? Or that's what the season's going to be based around?
I think they're talking about definitely incorporating the like Pleasure Island of sorts into the season 3. Yeah, and they're going to have the captain or whatever he's called, Captain something. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I haven't read Herogasm, so
that's his first appearance is in Herogasm 1. It's basically the spoof on Captain America. And so the heroes or the superheroes, they all say they're going to fight this huge cosmic threat and they're going to be gone for a little while. Basically just a summary of it. And they all go to this private island where they've hired a crap ton of hookers and drugs and servants and everything like that, and basically just go wild for a period of time as their vacation. And that's the basis of the story. And absolutely one of the most ridiculous things that I've ever read in my life.
Man, I mean, The Boys is already pretty out there. I don't know if you've read
Yes.
the comics too, but the comics are even
Yeah.
crazier than the TV show.
Oh, absolutely. I'm almost done with my first trade. That was actually the first one that's going to be on my little book club thing.
The Omni
Is The Boy. The Boys. I have the trade. I have the first trade so far.
Is it this?
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Cool. I read the first one. I got about halfway through the second one, and then I got caught up with literally every other book that I start reading.
I got you.
But it's pretty solid. If anyone's been interested in The Boys.
Yes. No, it's so funny. Dude, the story with like the knockoff Batman and Robin, that little arc. Oh my gosh, man. I had to put the book down. I was like, this is getting too silly. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Oh, I definitely agree with Will on this one. Garth Ennis is definitely a strange man.
Strange, yes, absolutely.
I mean, he's solid though. He's got a wide range of what he writes. You know, he's got The Boys. He's got he did Punisher Max. That was pretty cool too.
Punisher Max, definitely a good series. Yeah, good series for sure. Punisher Max and Punisher Born. Born was a good one too.
I don't think I've read Born.
That one I don't think was Ennis though. I don't think so.
So, obviously, looking at HeroGasm, do you aim more for modern age, Bronze Age? What do you really like to go for? The newer stuff or the old stuff as far as spec goes?
So, as far as I always like to invest because you can ask Justin. I hoard books like crazy. So I like to hoard Silver Age because I feel like it's a lot less volatile, a lot less crazy, a lot, as far as moving up and down. Modern is like get in quick, get out kind of thing. It's one of those like little penny stocks, Bitcoin, crypto kind of thing. It's like you can waste all your money on some modern stuff that doesn't pan out, or like that one book will shoot up and yay, I made $100, that kind of thing. But for me, the safest bet I think is always going to be silver, and it's just going to continue to climb.
I was going to say it's only going up.
Yeah,
less and less issues.
I've never seen a Silver Age book plummet like it'll go down. Obviously, it'll dip a little bit after ebb and flow of whatever. But I've never seen like a new variant or something, a new version variant comes out and everyone's like, I gotta have it, and then a couple weeks later it's like it's cover price again. And you know what I mean? Like I've never seen that happen with Silver Age books.
I mean, we've seen that even with a lot of these modern first appearances. I do think Miles is going to be sticking around for a long time. I think that's a great one to invest in. But at the peak of that, look how much that was compared to what it is right now. Miles is completely dropped.
Huge.
Even Venom 3, that scan variant, people are saying that's the first cover appearance. It's a must-have. That was selling for, honestly, what, $600 to $800, and now you can probably get it for $200, maybe $300.
Miles right now is a good buy. Everyone watching right now, if you got money to spend on Miles, buy it now because he's being casted. He's going to come to the MCU. We already know Spider-Verse 2 is coming out, everything like that. That book is going to go back up. But like you're saying, that book just goes up like other modern books. That book goes up and down so quick. I sold all my Miles stuff when it popped the first time and bought a Kraven, that first appearance of Kraven, at a 5.5, and that book has since doubled in value. So it was like I bought a bunch of Miles before Miles popped. I made some money. I used that money to buy Kraven, and then that exploded too. So really, I got like a first Kraven for $100 ish with all my Miles stuff, and so it's snowballed like that, and that's how you do it.
That's exactly how I look at it as well. I mean, like you were just talking about, the Miles. It's in waves. I agree. I think now it's probably the best time to buy one. It's super low. No one's really talking about Miles, but as soon as there's any sort of info that comes out or leaked, it's going to jump right back up. But you flipped all of those Miles at the peak of its price. You could have honestly waited, rebought a new one, and you still could get that Kraven first appearance.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, I could still, if I wanted to, if I found a Miles at a show or something. Dealers are smart to stuff like that, so they'll keep it when it's low and then put it back out when it's high. And that's for a reason. Like I never see Miles on a showroom floor anymore. But yeah, like you said, I could buy Miles right now and it still would have been less than if I had bought one
Yep.
bought that and a Craven at the same time when it was hot.
I'm thinking personally, I think Miles, I talk about it in a lot of my videos. I think this modern, not modern age, well, obviously it is, but these modern new age, like the new generation of superheroes, Kamala, Miles, Starlight, even. Starlight is very underappreciated right now. The first appearance is in the new Miles Morales run, issue number 6. And
Okay.
she's in the Champions group. If you're keeping up with the Miles run, I know you said you don't read modern
Mhm.
comics really, but the newest Miles series, the latest issue, this is going to be spoilers, so turn your volume down or something and wait. It was like a date issue. So she came in issue 6. They
Okay.
kind of had like a little love thing going back and forth. And now in issue 22 or 23, whatever we're on, they had like a whole date. They finally kissed at the end of the issue. And her grandfather is the Vulture. She's got an established family. They gave her a backstory and they gave her a name in this issue. She's obviously sticking around, and you can still get the first appearance, first print for about $35, $45.
Well, there you go.
There's no reason to not take some sort of investment into that. So I'm thinking Miles, obviously her, Kamala Khan, Amadeus Cho, anything like that.
Amadeus Cho, Sam Alexander.
Sam Alexander.
For sure. Yeah. Justin and I have been speculating on Sam for a little bit. And yeah, Young Avengers. Anything Young Avengers right
Young
now.
Avengers.
Wiccan Speed. Yep. That's definitely a future thing. So yeah, Young Avengers 1, going back to what I'm specking on. I know we keep sidetracking. So Hero Gasm was on my list. Young Avengers 1 was on my list. I unfortunately didn't get to find a Young Avengers 1 last weekend, but I'll keep looking. Thor 134 was on my list. I did find one of those. That's the first appearance of High Evolutionary.
Okay.
Man, Nova 1 obviously has been popping, even though it's more likely to get Sam. Richard Rider is also still is killing it because that's just the first appearance of Nova. Just like ASM 238, first Hobgoblin. Even if it is Ned Leeds as Hobgoblin, 238 will still always be the one to get because it is the first Hobgoblin. So,
and plus it's a badass cover.
It is such a badass cover. And with the whole tattoos thing, I just take the tattoos out and put them on my neck, just because.
Oh yeah, why not?
I was telling the dealer that he should do that. Next time he found the one with the tattoos, just take them out, put them on his neck, and then sell the book and be like, you know where the tattoos are? Right here.
That's funny you mentioned that because those books behind me, that's actually literally the book I had right there.
Oh!
Yeah, literally behind me the whole time. So if
with
you guys were wondering, oh yeah, with tattoos. But now I might put it on my neck.
Well, yeah, now it's the new trend that you got to wear the neck tat of the Hobgoblin tats.
But yeah, I think obviously everything with Spider-Man. Spider-Man will never die. Those issues will always just keep climbing in price, like you said. As they get older, there's going to be less and less, high grade issues. So,
yes, for sure. I just recently got. He says you sound like a parrot.
That's my boy from college.
Okay,
Yeah, he's a good dude.
I finally got my first single-digit Amazing Spider-Man book with ASM number 9, and that was like right at the end of the year, with first appearance of Electro, and of course, there's news now that Jamie Foxx might be reprising his role as Electro.
I was seeing that too. There's a lot of spec for that newest movie. I'm really looking.
It's like everyone's going to be in this movie except for Spider-Man. It feels like.
We're gonna get all the Spider-Man.
We're getting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. We're getting Emma Stone back. Apparently, we're getting Doc Ock back. Like what in the world? Can we just have Spider-Man, please?
No, not for this one. I was thinking too, with all of the speculation. I mean, obviously we got Miles in the animated movie, but then we have in this. There's the speculation going on that there's going to be pretty much the multiverse. It's going to be all the different Spider-Man. You think Miles can make an actual real appearance in this movie?
Oh, for sure.
I think it's
possible. At least a cameo or like an after credit scene or something.
That's what I keep thinking.
Yeah.
Because why would you make this movie with apparently all of these people and just not throw them in there?
Yeah. I think that, I would love to see them kill Tom Holland and then bring in Miles.
All right. And on that note, we're ending the broadcast right now. Kidding.
If they did like a Kraven's Last Hunt, because they're trying to bring in Kraven. They're talking about doing I think Keanu Reeves was the last name tossed around for Kraven, which I don't.
Yeah, Keanu's been thrown for everything.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves is just going to play the next 5 characters that come out of Marvel.
He's the next Spider-Man. He's the next Kraven. Just keep swapping roles. It's going to be like Tyler Perry's movie?
Yeah, or Eddie Murphy with the Nutty Professor. He's going to play everything. He's going to be the whole Sinister Six, actually. But yeah, so if they bring in Kraven, man, how cool would it be to have Kraven kill Peter and kill himself, and then bring in Miles?
That'd be pretty dope.
They won't do it.
I don't think they won't do it.
They won't do it.
Tom Holland's too good as Spider-Man.
He is a really good Spider-Man.
He kills
Alexis
it.
doesn't like him at all.
Well, that's a bad opinion. Everyone's entitled to it. That's a bad one.
I agree. Every time she's like, I hate Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I'm like, no one cares what you think.
Does she like Tobey Maguire? Is that why?
No, she likes Andrew Garfield.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she's got the heart on for Andrew.
I was gonna say if it's Tobey Maguire, that makes sense because we grew up with Tobey Maguire. That's why
I
I
grew
love
up with Tobey. Yeah.
So I love him too.
Dancing ways.
Oh, that's the best one. That's the best part.
I like Tom though. Yeah, I think he's been the best portrayal of Peter Parker so far.
He's done a great job. I mean, obviously he's a younger one. Tobey Maguire was an older Spider-Man. Well, at least that's I think what they were trying to portray.
Yeah.
But I think what they're going to do with the movie, assuming they bring all these characters in, is maybe not even Miles as, the Spider-Man, but maybe they'll have him just in the crowd, or maybe they'll just a small, tiny little cameo. They'll just make note like, "Oh, Miles, that's Spider-Man," or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something crazy, and then now
as soon as that happens, Ultimate Fallout 4 will be a $3,000 book.
Oh my god, I need
especially with how everything's going on now, dude. Like books are just hitting ridiculous highs. I know we were kind of discussing this a little bit, but when I went to the show this last weekend, and the guy had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures #1, right? First Bebop, Rocksteady, and first time they had and Krang, and the first time they had the different color headbands, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, that's crazy that hit $1,000 recently. And he was like, oh, you're still living in January. You need to live in February. This is now a $2,000 book. And I was like,
that's insane.
What? Because I remember when that book was $1 book or like a $5 book, and then it was $100, and I was like, that's stupid. And now it's $1,000, and I'm like, that's even more stupid. And now it's $2,000. I'm like, all right, where does it end at this point?
People are getting these stimulus checks. They're going crazy. That first stimulus check, everyone went wild. They said, I got a job still. I'm getting some goddamn comic books.
Apparently, I guess. Just from there, it's just gone crazier and crazier with these prices. Not that I'm complaining. You can give me your stimulus check. I don't care. Some of these books that I had, I used mine. I actually fronted mine to buy a collection. It was... They wanted $1,200, and this was before the checks came out. They wanted $1,200 for the collection. They were like, "You're getting $1,200 anyway." And I looked at everything, and I was like, "All right, $1,200." And then I flipped it. I waited until everyone else got their stimulus check, and then I just had that huge sale that I did, and flipped $1,200 into $10,000. And I was like, "All right,
I remember
there we go." And that's how we do it. But yeah, you're right. I mean, everyone got their stimulus check, and I timed something perfectly, and everyone was spending their check on comic books. I was like, all right, this can be all right.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we got a pretty good question. I know you're not really reading too many moderns. Have you read this one though? Something's Killing the Children.
I really want to get a trade to read it.
They got volume 1 out, maybe even volume 2 at this point.
Yes, yeah, I need to just do it. I need to find the trade paperback and get it, but I have not read it yet, unfortunately. I don't think I've even had any of them aside from pressing them for other people, and I'm not going to read that,
They're good.
Yeah, I need to get it because I've heard so many good things about it, and I know you talk highly of it on your show as well. So
it's one of the best ones from Boom Studios right now, absolutely. So my thought with it is, I mean, we're definitely going to get back to what we were just talking about, but just to answer that question real quick. So it's, I think, 15 issues deep currently, or this next issue is going to be the last one for a while. I can't really remember, but the next volume they're going to be coming out with is going to be I guess, a prequel. So Erica Slaughter is basically the main character. And I even called this a while back because I was, in one of my videos, I was saying for the speculation, I said, how are they going to continue on with this series? Once they kill off these monsters or they save this town, what are they really going to do? So they started slowly integrating more of this House of Slaughter, where she comes from. That's like the whole group that she's part of. And you slowly start seeing them deal with them more and focus on them. And I thought, what would be crazy is they're just going to branch out. They're going to focus on her or focus on this group. Maybe we won't even see Erica again. But this next volume they're going to be coming out with is, I guess, a prequel to her and her upbringing. So that's going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, as long as it's not like a prequel, my biggest issue is if they're just trying to do a cash grab, like if they're just trying to capitalize on a successful series and then they have a different writing team or something come in and it's crappy. Like, I'm never a fan of that. But if it's done right, I think that would be really cool.
I mean, James Tynion's writing it, and he's, oh my God, pun intended, but he's killing it on everything he's doing right now. I'm digging the Batman, Someone's Killing Children, obviously doing very well. Assuming he's sticking with it, it's going to be fantastic. I don't want to make a comparison of Star Wars Episode 4, 5, 6, and then they go back to 1, 2, 3 with Anakin. But I'm hoping it can be on that level of, because Erica Slaughter is super badass. She's a very likable character. And just to do an upbringing with that, that would be so cool.
Nice. I really need to get myself a trade. I think I'll probably add that. So after we do The Boys, I think Something is Killing the Children is going to be the next one that we read. Because we want to read, we don't, for the book club, we want to focus a little more on indie stuff, not so much the Marvel DC. So The Boys, Something is Killing the Children. Gideon Falls is up there. It was one of my favorite series when I was reading through some of that.
I was going to say, you've read that though, right?
I haven't gotten like super far into it, but I've read like 1 through 10 or something like that.
Oh, it gets better and better.
Yeah, I need to get back on Gideon Falls, and just, there are so many good indie books out there that don't get the love and credit they deserve. And that's kind of what I want to explore, because everyone knows, Spider-Man and Batman and everything like that. And I just kind of want to get more deep dive into some of the indie stuff that's out there.
That's why I put all my money towards Image and Boom. I mean, obviously AWA, Upshot, Aftershock, and there's so many other companies too. But they just really put a lot of care into their issues, it seems like. The stories, they're so well developed. And for whoever's watching that right now, you guys know I don't put a lot of money into mini runs, especially from Marvel, from DC. I always feel like it's a waste of my money. It's a waste of time reading it because they have no real continuity. They have no real value. But these mini runs from, say, Image and AWA, because AWA is notorious for just 5-issue series, and they're so good. The artwork's great, the characters are well developed, and the pacing is just on point. And it's worth your time and money, in my opinion.
What's your favorite series that's out right now?
I do. So from Boom Studios, it's probably going to be Something Is Killing the Children.
Okay.
If I was up to date in Power Rangers, I'm sure it would probably be that as well.
Really? Power Rangers?
Oh, dude, Power Rangers are dope. I'm not caught up in the series. I'm not too even far deep into it, but digging it. But from Image, there's a lot. I mean, Gideon Falls, it's over with. I love that series. Someone mentioned down there, Department of Truth. Do you think it should be full-blown run instead of just issues? I think that series is very well done too. I'm really digging that. But there's so many that I'm reading, even Philadelphia. There's so many issues from Image in these weekly videos that it's like, yes, this one's coming out. This one's coming out. And it feels like my top 10 is probably 7 issues that are all from Image if they're having a big week. But it's definitely something that I suggest to everybody. If you're kind of tired of the superhero stuff or you think it's being overplayed a little bit, it's right. They just put so much care and effort into these series, and they have a lot more leeway. They can do kind of what they want as a writer. My opinion. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what, I mean, I think Gideon Falls, when I came back to comics, so I left comics for a while, and then when I came back to comics, Gideon Falls was the first indie title that I started picking up and reading. And that just kind of showed me like, oh yeah, there are really, really good stories out there. And I still need to do like a trade of Ice Cream Man. I know that everyone talks about that one as well.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I think there's a lot of issues that are better than other ones. Mm-hmm. It's all single issues. Like each issue is different. There's not real continuity. Sometimes the Ice Cream Man is the continuity, but I think a lot of the issues are hit or miss. Some of the earlier ones and the later ones have been very good. but there was so many in the middle that I thought was just like,
mediocre.
It's all right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then there was like this random little book called Crowded. I don't know if you read that one. That I really enjoyed, where basically you could crowdfund killing someone, and that you basically put, it was a hit out for somebody, and there was an amount that everyone poured in. Like, if you kill this person, we want it done this badly, and like you could pay into it to get it done, and then whoever killed them and uploaded the dead picture or whatever got to withdraw the funds. So that one was kind of cool. Just a little social media take of what's going on. Kind of reminds you like the Black Mirror type thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, but so but indie books definitely.
Is that Image
as far as story? I think so. Yes.
I'm gonna have to look into that. Is it it's done already, or is it like an ongoing?
I think it's done.
Yeah, I'll definitely
a while
look
ago.
into that.
Yeah. No, that one. Yeah, it was a good one. It was cute. It was really amusing. It had some twists and turns.
Cool. And you have your thing with Comic Talks coming up at 7, correct?
No, at 8.
It's at 8?
Yeah.
Cool. So we can keep going for a little bit?
Of course, yeah.
Awesome, cool. Because
let's take a second and just say I do have a couple announcements. All right, so first of all, if you're not
big announcement,
subscribe to me on YouTube. Please subscribe to me on YouTube. I think Alec put my link in his description.
Links in the description.
So it's there. Once I hit 1,000, here's the announcement. Woohoo! So once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm doing a YouTube auction with Carnage and Venom related books and keys, like pretty much only. And I'm giving away a near mint, cleaned and pressed copy, raw, of ASM 361, the first appearance of Carnage. So I know that book has skyrocketed recently, and will probably continue to go up since we haven't even gotten a dang trailer yet. Thanks, Marvel. So hit me up on YouTube. I will be holding that and doing that giveaway of ASM 361. So that's my big announcement. And then also a quick other announcement for more right now. I have a merchandise shop with all sorts of cool shirts, hoodies, hats, stuff like that. And I don't know if you put that in the description too.
Oh, yeah, it's there.
Okay.
It's all there.
If you use the code ARComics, well, I pointed the wrong way, ARComics, you will get 15% off of everything in the store. So I have a whole boatload of cool designs there. And so use his code, and that's good through Sunday, the 14th. It's cool. Valentine's Day. So I'm very excited about that, and I appreciate him having me on, and that's why I wanted to give him like a little sponsorship for my shop. So that'll be in the description, and you can hit it up there.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that too. Everyone go check that out. Like he was saying, I have all the links to all of his stuff, his YouTube, Instagram, his Etsy. It's all linked in the description down low. I forgot to put my NAMI one down there as well, but you guys already know. Check out one of my videos. We're at almost $550 donated to NAMI. And
oh, man, that's cool.
I don't know where the book is right now, but let's see. I don't have it next to me.
You've given up that Surfer slab, right? Or was it a slab, or was it a raw book?
It's slabbed. It's a 9.4 CGC Amazing Spider-Man 430. It's a nice issue. It's definitely going up in price. Once we hit 750 in donations, that's when I'm going to be doing that giveaway on my channel. You don't need to sub me or like videos or comment, none of that stuff. When you donate, your name gets put in there, and that's all that matters to me, is that I see the donation mark, because that's all that really matters. It's for mental health. And
and that's really cool what you're doing there. It hits home with me too. I know it hits home obviously with you, but that's what Alexis literally dedicates her life to, and so she is a mental health professional, and
that's awesome.
Deal with that kind of thing every single day.
It's definitely something that affects a lot of people, and it's really shitty that people have to deal with some things like that. You see a lot of it in the military. It sucks. Yeah. So.
For sure. But yeah, that's awesome that you do that. So please go check it out. I'm sure you'll add it afterwards, but go check it out in the description to make a donation. I still need to make my donation. I went to do it, and I couldn't do it through PayPal, so didn't have my wallet on me at the time. I was like, dang it. So I need to make mine as well.
So I know we keep getting off subject and off task for literally everything.
Of course.
So speculation wise, I know we talked about a few books.
Yes.
So I recently bought Avengers 57, first appearance of Vision. I actually got a 5.0 CGC on eBay last night.
Okay.
I think it can be cleaned and pressed. I was looking at it. It looks pretty dirty. So I spent about 300.
4 or 5? That's not bad.
That's what I was thinking too. But the reason I went in on it is because, like I said, I think it can be cleaned and pressed. The back's extremely dirty. And, I personally wanted it. So
yeah,
that's
a cool cover too.
Oh, it's an incredible cover.
Yeah.
It's
another Roy Thomas one.
It's actually been fairly cheap, in my opinion, since WandaVision came out. I feel like that's a book that probably should have went up a lot of money. But it really hasn't. Why do you think that?
Because he's dead. He's dead, Alec.
Ooh, is he? He might be. I don't know. We don't know what's going on. I mean, I haven't seen the newest episode.
I'm not even spoiling from the newest episode or anything. It's just been my thought. My thought this whole time is that he's still dead.
I think that too, honestly.
Yeah. Though. So unfortunately, even Iron Man 1 isn't. I mean, Tales of Suspense, his first appearance, obviously, is still going to hold. But Iron Man 1 has gone down a little bit. Avengers 1 has gone down a little bit, just because we're moving on to the next thing. And I don't think Vision is the next thing. Scarlet Witch is. X-Men 4 has skyrocketed.
I think skyrocket is an understatement.
Yeah, no. Okay, there were 2 copies at that show I went to last Saturday. And I walked up to both booths, and they were bought right before I got there. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!"
I don't know if you've been on eBay. I mean, I'm sure you have been on eBay looking at them. They are insane prices. I don't know what they were prior to WandaVision.
It's probably gone up at least 60%.
That's believable. I think the ones I was looking at were all closer to 1,000.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they'll just continue to go up. It might be higher. Like that guy said, I might still be living in January. He needs to take me into February. So it moves just that quickly, and that I can't keep up with how high these books are going. But yeah, X-Men 4, and again, I think there's a reason for that. That Avengers is kind of chill, or Avengers 57 has kind of chilled at where it's at, and I mean it up a little bit, but not significantly.
That's why I think on it.
X-Men 4 is definitely to the moon.
That is, it's definitely.
That's a good price though. 5.0 for 300, and you can clean and press it. Good choice.
See, yeah, I mean, obviously I can't see pictures up, but it's pretty dirty. I saw some black streaks on the front, and I was like, that's definitely can be taken off.
Yeah, and I can show you a couple of the pads that you can get and stuff to buff it out and get that shine back on it. So
nice. It'll buff out.
Bring back that a little bit, yeah, for sure.
But what else? So WandaVision, obviously. Haven't seen The Mandalorian. What do you think? What's the next show that's going to be popping up? Is it Falcon and Winter Soldier? Is that the next one?
Yeah, I think that's going to be like their action show.
What do you think about it?
I'm excited. I enjoyed the trailer. Falcon I think is going to be cool. I think the Loki show is going to be pretty cool.
That Loki one's going to be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's really good. Loki is going to tie in a lot, I think, with Doctor Strange and what they're leading with WandaVision. While Falcon and Winter Soldier is more the on Earth, like what's the down and gritty on the streets type of action. And I really like the dynamic between Falcon and Winter Soldier so far.
Yeah.
Through like their little banter and everything like that. So as long as they don't make it corny, I think they'll do a good job.
I honestly have faith in Marvel with this. I really do.
Of course.
Every time a movie comes out, I'm always thinking, I got the faith. I don't really care about Black Widow anymore. I really don't.
I just want to see. I want to see Taskmaster, man.
I did too about a year ago.
About a year ago. You're over it now.
And I really don't care about the Eternals, but I was really cool seeing that in November. But now that's, I think, next November. I don't really care about that either.
Yeah, no. Someone asked you, do you guys think second and third prints should be viewed the same as first prints?
What do you think? I'll answer after.
Okay, well, I'm not the modern guy, but I think it's very silly for a second and third print to be as sought after or as even more valuable. I understand, like, it could be a lower print run, but sometimes it goes to a second print because the first print wasn't that high. And so the second print might end up being even more printed. I don't know, man. Like it's never been something I've gone after. I know like the Venom 3 third print, just because it's the first time Noel's on a cover or
I thought
something
that was
like
stupid.
that. It's like, all right, so that makes it $1,000 book. Like, come on, man. Or like what they're doing right now with this Amazing Spider-Man, the web face thing, where each one's coming out in a different color, and it's like it's the same cover. It's just a different color. Like, why why are people freaking out about this? It blows my mind, but like I get why some people would want it, I guess.
I kind of do too. I don't really get the second and third prints. I usually only even get cover A if I get a new book. I usually don't even go for the other ones. But I totally get it. Maybe the first print has maybe not even a lower print run, but it's got a big first appearance. And now maybe the second print has the first cover appearance while it's the first appearance. I totally get that. But then my thought process is for a third print, that should be the reader copy. That should be the copy that everyone should be able to get. And then, I don't know, I know Thor one with Jane Foster, it's got, I think, 4 different prints. And I know most of them are kind of valuable. And I don't know.
Like the different color streak at the bottom or whatever it is.
I go back and forth with thinking that. Like those books, that's a major first appearance, though. Some of these other ones, like Noel, everyone is eating Noel right now. And do we even know if he's going to be sticking around? For all we know, he's going to die off at the end of this King in Black. Maybe he's done for. He's been being talked about for like 2 years. Maybe he's run his course. Who knows? We don't know what Donny Cates is thinking. So now people are spending all this money. He's going to
spend his time now with Black Winter instead.
I got my copies ready.
You do? Yeah.
I think 3 or 4 copies.
Okay.
I mean, he already said he's
that's what I think. I think because he's done with Venom. He said he made this sweeping declaration that he likes to do, that he's done with Venom forever after whatever number. I don't even know.
2 more. It's issue 200 in the Legacy run.
Oh, okay. All right. So there you go. So that book is going to have a bajillion variants, and they're all going to be like, oh my god, the next thing, and it's not. So don't get suckered into it. And then I think he's gonna move on to his what he wants to do with either another Silver Surfer kind of thing or Black Winter. I think is where he's gonna go for.
I think he's definitely gonna keep killing it on Thor, but then kind of like how he's kind of run his course with Venom, and he's like, I'm kind of done. I think Thor is gonna turn into that main one, but he's going to pick up something new as well. Maybe, I mean, I'm just spitballing for hope right now, but either Amazing Spider-Man or even Immortal Hulk, maybe like a nice Hulk run.
Okay.
It could kill it on that.
Yeah.
And Al Ewing, he's taking his sweet time on this, and I can't even talk about Nick Spencer with Amazing Spider-Man because I'm 59 issues deep, and that shit has been bad since the beginning.
I quickly stopped reading that one. I think after the second issue,
It's
I was
just
like,
so wrong.
I was like, no, thank you. I'm good. Yeah, no. With Cates definitely knows how to do a story. I think he knows that balance between moving too fast or too slow.
His pacing is very good.
Yeah. So there are a lot, like whoever's writing Batman right now. Like I don't know exactly, but I've read a couple recent. Yeah, the current Batman.
That's James Tynion.
Okay, so. For that, I feel like a lot of the time the issues, it's like a lot of action, but nothing happens, kind of thing. It's like,
it's a good story.
It's a lot and nothing at the same time. So I would not like to pay for $5-6 an issue, whatever DC's charging these days, because they seem to change it every week, to basically get no further in the story and just have a scene of Batman beating someone up real quick.
Yeah.
And so that's just how I feel, and that's why I kind of stopped reading modern comics anyway. But Cates, on the other hand, he'll definitely there's just better structure to his stories, I think.
And that's funny you bring up Tynion with Batman, how his pacing's a little off. His stories are very, he's got a very nice in-depth story, and then maybe an issue it's complete action-packed, but nothing really progresses. Mm-hmm. And I know Batman fans and even Something That's Killing Children fans don't want to talk about this, but I've brought it up in a lot of videos with Something That's Killing Children. I love it. I love the series. I think it's incredible. The concept is there. I like the artwork too, but I've mentioned it, especially with these later issues. I think the pacing is very off. It's now that I've read a lot of these issues, it's kind of becoming way more apparent. There's so much plot progression, and then it just completely stops, and then it's just straight action, whether it's the House Slaughter coming in to kill the monsters or Eric is killing monsters, and then it gets back to some story between them. And this last issue, I think they did a little bit better, but for the most part, as much as I love the series, I'll be the first to admit it. The pacing's not very good, in my opinion. But
okay, well, there you go.
yeah, just thought for me on that one.
Absolutely. Someone says, as far as I know, he already teased the Silver Surfer comeback. Uh-oh. That'd be cool. That artwork in that series was pretty dope. That was just like
the Silver Surfer Black?
Yeah, Silver Surfer Black.
Who did that? I know his name. Something with a T, I think.
Can't remember off the top of my head.
I know someone down there knows it.
Someone was showing me though that there's like an enlarged collection of that series, the 1 through 6, where it's bigger and you can like kind of read through it with like giant size artwork. That I definitely want one of those because that artwork was just incredible, and just to read it on a larger scale than when I read it on my my little tablet, you know.
Oh, that probably sucked.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was still really cool, but you know, I'm sure it's even more incredible just on a bigger canvas.
I thought it was all right. It wasn't exactly for me. I thought the overall series was very okay.
Okay.
But I still recommend it to people if they like Silver Surfer. It's a nice lead. Well, I think that leads into then that Thanos run with Silver Surfer Black, or it's vice versa. I don't remember that either. I read that one a long time ago too.
You talking about his Thanos wins run?
Yeah, actually, that one's got.
That was way before.
Yeah, that was way before.
Mm-hmm. That was like Donny Cates on the scene type Donny Cates.
There's so much crap out there. I mix it all up sometimes.
With his Cosmic Ghost Rider, and that was a good series too.
The 5 issues or whatever, Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider, that one.
No, I just meant Thanos wins from 13 to I guess that was only a couple issues too, right? He did he picked up at 13, I think.
This one? I got that one, I think, right here too.
There you go. Yeah.
Is it that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I don't know if you've actually seen this hardcover. You look at his artwork when you take the top off. Look at that.
Well, dang.
Yeah. I didn't even know it was going to be like that when I got it. It was definitely a fun read.
You a big omnibus collector?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
I
only have, as far as omnibus go, or omnibuy, I guess, I only have the ones for Spider-Man. And I'm still missing, I keep trying to look for volume 3.
I was going to say, I don't have 3.
Yeah, it's one of those that's just out there looking for. But I mean, I don't know. I like collecting them, but I don't need every single thing. I like the essentials a little bit better as far as like for like the essential Thor or the essential whatever, and then you can kind of read through and gloss over some of the old bronze filler.
I like having the Omnis, the Marvel one specifically, kind of just for a collection piece. Like,
okay,
someone's asking me even, like, I have Amazing Spider-Man, for example. I have 1, 2. I don't have 4 yet because I don't have 3. But they were like, are you even going to read it? And I was like, no, they're pretty hard to read. The artwork's outdated. The text bubbles take up the entire art box, but it's nice to flip through it. Come on,
Alec.
No, it's so nice to look through it. Like, I'm not going to sit there and read the whole Omni. It'll take forever.
Oh, but well, it would take for a long time, yeah.
That's what I mean, though. I can't just sit down and bust out that Omni. Like, if I was reading, I don't know, something else. Like, I'm currently reading, well, I'm reading a lot of things, but East of West. Like, I'm getting through that pretty quickly.
Right.
And by the way, that shit sucks. It's not.
Oh, you don't like that one?
No. I don't know how you feel about Jonathan Hickman.
He had a good Avengers run.
See, everyone knows him for the Avengers, but so the way I describe Jonathan Hickman is like, he has this idea, and he's got a straight line on this idea. But then he's going to go every other direction, maybe come back to the beginning of that line, move up a little bit, and go completely off course. And then the very end is like, yep, we're right here. It's like, oh, he's got 50, 60 different characters. None of them even matter.
Right.
And there's 10 different plots going on. It's so hard to like keep up with this.
Right. Yeah.
That's my thought.
I really only know him from the Avengers run. I can't speak to too much otherwise.
But I think that's one of the reasons I don't like X-Men either. I know he's big in X-Men, and I didn't really like the Hickman stuff.
I've never been a huge X-Men fan either. I've been trying to read through some of the Claremont stuff. John from John's Comics with Kids has inspired me to try at least to get through some of this or the Claremont run. And even then, I'm just kind of like, I mean, it's all right. Like, I'm not going out of my way to read it, but when I'm bored, I'll pick up an issue or two and read through it, and I'll catch his like breakdown of some of the issues as well. But I'm with you, man. I've never been a huge X-Men person.
I think I grew up not liking it because I swear my dad is very set in his ways. You explain something to him, you try to tell him something, and it's like he's got his blinders on. He's not seeing anything else. And
right.
I was always like, what do you think about X-Men? Oh, it sucks. I hate the X-Men. I hate the X-Men. It's stupid. Well, why? Because it's stupid. I hate the X-Men. Okay, gotcha. So that's what I grew up with.
I gotcha. All right. Well, see, I'm not like that, but it's not a hate for the X-Men. It's just I never really cared much for it and never got super into any storyline involving them heavily. Aside from House of M was all right. I went back and revisited House of M.
I haven't read that.
But that wasn't. I wouldn't say that's like a X-Men specific story. It's
that's kind of everything.
Encompasses them all. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta hop back on that. That one's been a long time.
It's a good one, man. I reread it specifically to talk about it on this last Monday with Chris, and I'd forgotten a lot about it. I mean, it came out in like 2005, so I'd forgotten about a lot of it. I haven't read forever, and just like little things that were kind of threw out there. I was like, oh, this kind of could tell a little bit about the WandaVision stuff that's going on now,
So now that we're back on WandaVision, as far as speculation goes, I know I haven't seen the newest episode. I know they probably got into a whole lot more stuff, but for everyone that's watching right now, what are some of the issues that you think people should be investing in? I know it's probably a little bit late to the jump because obviously it's all jumped up, but
yeah.
What are your thoughts? You're the auctioneer here. You're the one that goes out, you buy the collections, you know what you're looking for.
There are obviously, if you can find the Vision and Scarlet Witch series, right? Both of them, the 1 through 4 and then the 1 through 12. That would be a start if you can find them for a good price.
That's a good read too.
The West Coast Avengers, there's a stint in the West Coast Avengers between like 30 and 50, somewhere in that area, that plays a lot with what they're talking about right now, and Wanda losing her mind and stuff like that. So West Coast Avengers in general too, because I think number 4 is the first appearance of Master Pandemonium, and there's a lot of stuff with Master Pandemonium that is being speculated on right now with the show. So that's going to be your cheap spec. If you can get into Blue Marvel, if you can get into obviously X-Men 4, if that's expensive, it was expensive and now is even more expensive. House of M is a good series to pick up. I don't really think that. I mean, it's kind of like what they're doing with House of M, but there's too many differences to say House of M is a solid spec. It's a solid read, but it's not a solid spec.
I think people were speccing on it before WandaVision came out. House of M was more of a you should get this just in case type thing because it was still cheap, but they definitely haven't really gone that route.
Yeah, no, not so much. And yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't know. Obviously, Monica Rambeau, Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16.
Oh my God, that exploded too.
It shot up ridiculously. If you can still find that one under $100, I think that's a good pickup because it seems like Monica is going to be getting her powers soon. No spoilers, but that's just seems like that seems to be a course that they're aiming towards. Do we think? Yeah, I think so.
I
or
think
at least an extra hint at it.
So do you think, I keep talking about I haven't seen the newest episode yet. I know I'm pretty bummed at myself too. Do you think
that's what I'm trying to hold back?
Do you think WandaVision is going to introduce the X-Men? Do you think this is going to be the series? Because I know some people are talking about the Winter Soldier Falcon series that was going to do it. But I mean, episode 4, as long as you've seen that, we've got Quicksilver.
I think that I don't think Quicksilver is Quicksilver right now in the show. I'll just put it that way as
Okay.
my personal opinion. I'm really trying not to spoil anything. I think that Wanda is incubating either mutants or Inhumans right now. We've seen hints that she might have done something to Monica going through the barrier twice. Something on a you've seen the last episode, right?
Yeah.
Not this newest one. So you know how the X-rays came up weird and the blood work came up weird. They kind of made that little hint.
Yeah.
Okay,
and that's what makes me ask too.
Yeah, so I think that there is definitely something going on with either the people that she's baking right now with the radiation, or anyone that kind of goes in or gets sucked in, or like for example the beekeeper that crossed the line and got turned into the beekeeper. I think something might happen in that respect as far as relating to the X-Men or Inhumans or something like that. She's definitely changing people in that regard.
Cool.
It would be a good opening for the X-Men though, for sure. Or even just explanation of what's going on with the Fantastic Four. Maybe. I don't know.
So I read a thing that someone made a comment that they wanted to bring in a specialist. I can't remember what the exact words were, but a lot of people were like, "Oh, that might be Reed Richards. That could be
Reed Richards. Could be Doctor Doom."
Or I was thinking Jane Foster too. I don't know where she's at right now in the whole MCU.
Could be Jane Foster. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's the thing. They word it specifically because they know we're going to sit around here and talk about it on stuff exactly like this, and they want us talking about it. And that's why they make it so vague and open to interpretation. And I think you'll find there are a couple points in this episode that you're going to watch tonight where they do that exact same thing, where they could be talking about nothing, or maybe they're hinting at something huge coming. Yeah,
I can't wait to. It's a shame I can't watch literally your next live stream with Comic Talk after this. I don't want to spoil it for myself.
If you have watched it though, me and Justin will be doing an intense breakdown of it at 8:00 Eastern on my YouTube channel. So please subscribe to me on YouTube so you can watch us there.
And it's links in the description, so you definitely can't miss out on it. So. But yeah, I keep thinking, I was thinking, because they're all being in this radiation incubator, whatever the hell they are right now, maybe it's going to explode and it's just going to shoot out and affect certain people. And maybe that's how the mutants are now going to be introduced. Other people are saying, like you just said, the people in there, maybe they're going to turn into the mutants, or maybe that was just a comment I was reading. Mm-hmm. But that's what I keep thinking too. Maybe all of her powers, it's just going to explode the bubble and it's only going to affect certain people.
Mm-hmm. That's what I think. Yeah, I mean, it's anything. Right now, they could do anything that they wanted, and obviously, they know the direction that they're going. But right now, it could go any which way. I do think we're going to see Doctor Strange show up at some point in the show, because just the same way that he shows up in House of M in the astral plane and kind of go through send his spirit through the plane or bubble and try to connect with Wanda and talk her down a little bit. So I think that's going to happen. And we already know that Wanda is going to be in Doctor Strange as well. So that would make sense for that to happen.
I personally was thinking that Jane Foster is going to make an appearance only because they're going to be hyping her up for her movie coming out.
Okay.
That's already confirmed. Why not kind of reintroduce her, not establish her, because she's obviously established in the Thor run, but now give more backstory, give more everything else that kind of leads to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what kind of
for sure. As long as Natalie Portman is a little more excited about her role this time.
Yeah,
I'll be excited to see it if she's excited to have done
it. I think she would make a great Jane Foster, like as Thor.
Okay.
I will admit though, her care level in those first couple movies,
she just didn't care at all.
I mean, she's kind of the same as, I'm not going to say she's the same as Padme, because that's Natalie Portman too, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same acting.
Mm-hmm.
She just straight faced. Oh, Anakin! What? Anakin? No. It's like, come on, Natalie.
You killed young ones.
Yeah, straight face. You killed them.
Yeah, that's how she's gonna talk to Wanda. You killed the whole town.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's told me terrible things.
Yeah, Wanda. Obi-Wan told me that one. Boom, crossover. Disney Plus, they know what they're doing.
Kevin, is it Feige or
I think it's Feige.
Yeah, he already shut down real fast. That I think people were asking him hardcore if they were going to do some kind of crossover between Star Wars and Marvel, and he's like, absolutely not.
And then next thing we know, the Game of Thrones guys comes back and they're like, do it. Then they ruin it for everyone.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they backed out of doing Star Wars so dang fast because of like what I mentioned a little bit earlier, that just that toxic fan culture. They were like, nope, we don't want nothing to do with this. I think they were also hot off the heels of everyone hating on Game of Thrones, and they're like, I don't think we can go through this again.
I was going to say, good. I don't want them touching anything else.
Star Wars becomes like a Star Wars porno, softcore porn.
They... I don't even have something to say to that.
I mean, honestly, like, we saw what they did with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It wasn't that much sex in the books. There was a lot in the show, though.
Season 1, we're going to bring them in right away.
Season 1, the low budget. We're like, we don't have a budget for a battle, but we can get everyone to take their clothes off. We do have enough money for that.
Oh, my God. So we've been going on for about almost an hour and a half right now. We're going to be wrapping this up in the next couple minutes because, you have your live stream coming up. I know you need to get ready for that as well. So now that we're at the very end of this, I just want to say thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate having my first episode. Now, do you want to give a shout out to anybody? Do you want to thank anyone for everything that they've, has anybody helped you get to where you're at right now?
Are you fishing for a thank you, Alec? Because I'll thank you again.
No, but I'd appreciate it.
Yeah. So thank you to Alec for having me on his show. I really appreciate it. Again, in his description, you can subscribe to me on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it. At 1,000, I'm giving away a free near mint ASM 361 first appearance of Carnage. And I also have a lot of swag in my merchandise shop. The link is also in his description. And if you use his code AR Comics, you get 15% off anything that you get in the store. And he gets a nice little kickback from it. So please help show some support to AR Comics. His channel is awesome. I really do look forward to your, even though I'm not big into reading the modern stuff, I still like to know what's out there. So I really appreciate what you do with the what's coming out and what you picked up videos that you promote. I will be on right after this on my channel, on my YouTube, with Justin talking about the newest episode of WandaVision. And I will be on John's Comics with Kids on Monday, because Justin and I have been nominated as a bromance in the comic community for Valentine's Day, and we're doing a special episode of Comic Gories, I guess. I don't know. John, I wasn't really given a choice. It was just, here you go. You're going to be on this show. I was like, all right. And then next weekend on Instagram, we're going to Charleston, baby. And so we're going to be having a huge auction on my Instagram channel at Comix4Cheap.
Awesome. As he said, links in the description. But as Master Breaker said, so this was episode 1, Comic Convos. Obviously, we had Comix4Cheap on. You're definitely going to be on again. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
And I plan on doing this every Friday, most likely roughly around the same time. It's going to depend on if someone wants to hop on. If not, maybe it'll be every other Friday, depending on scheduling. But this is definitely going to be a new thing implemented into this channel now that I have a lot more free time and, just learning how to do everything. So to answer that question, if anyone else was thinking it too, absolutely. And that was it. That was episode 1 of Comic Convo. Thank you again, Comix4Cheap, for hopping on.
Absolutely. And thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for sticking around this whole time. I really appreciate it. Had a blast. Have a good night, guys.